It says we're live. There we go. I guess we're live.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, how's it going? See, we got 9 people here. Wow, F it. I saw you comment on the other stream too before I made my mistake that you left your family for dinner. So deeply appreciate it because we're your real family. You didn't get to choose your family, but you got to choose us. So let's keep that in mind. But today it's me and Adeepthret are here, and we're just it's our first live stream, but we kind of talked about this a little bit before. And we're gonna just kind of go back and forth a bit, talking about a couple topics that we think are pretty important, and we really haven't seen a ton of people really like go in depth. So feel free to ask questions. We'll be calling them out. This probably will be a smaller group of people, so we can definitely get to everyone's questions and all that. So yeah, thanks for joining me, Jason. Really appreciate it as always.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a ton of fun. It'll be a small setting for the first time out for our pilot, but I'm happy and I'm excited to get this going.
Oh wow, A1 Andy in here. Australia's representing strong.
Hey, Dan Tack is in here. What a legend.
My boy.
He hooked me up today. I really appreciate
the number one
everything that he did for me today. That was awesome. He hooked me up. I'm such a boomer when it comes to technology, and he helped me out so much. So,
dude, he's quickly evolved into an NFT legend. It's kind of crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. So wild. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about that we want to talk about real quick was just what do you want to go for first? We can talk about the WNBA. We can talk about Vegas a little. We can talk about the floor and how that's moved from $3 to $4 and how that might switch things.
You know what? I want to start with your interview with Dumbo.
Oh, okay.
I want to hear a couple thoughts that you took away from that, since it all hasn't been published yet. I want to hear your thoughts and your like main takeaways from that.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Lucas? What's up, everyone? So I just finished. I've been at my computer all day today. I posted the 3rd clip and I finished the full interview. So I've posted about 30-ish minutes of content, and the full interview is like 1 hour and 12. So I'm very excited for the rest of it to come out. And because it's Dumbo, there's a lot of him and me going back and forth at each other, which like is so great. You get a little bit in that one. You get in that little in that one clip. But I love his humor, and I love that he can like dish it as hard as he can take it. It's so much fun.
He is such a legend. God, shout out to Dumbo, man. He interacts with us all times of the day. He takes it, he dishes it out. He's super helpful.
Such a great guy.
God, such a great resource for Top Shot. What a find they had.
Yeah, and just someone who consistently goes above and beyond, and like that really makes a difference for users. Like I said in that video I just posted today, like there's a lot of people have DM'd me over the over the days when they're just like, wow, I can't believe Dumbo like took his time. Like we see him all over the place, and he's taking time to like goof around with us, and like everyone has fun with that. Obviously, the more people, the merrier. So, and even that where's Dumbo chat is great.
Yeah, all the memes. Yeah,
we need to keep up in it.
So, what was your main takeaway from that chat? Like, what was the main, like, give me like 2 or 3 like main points that you took away from that.
Yeah.
In case people haven't watched all the interviews yet.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So the 3 pieces I put out, one was the WNBA CS change, which I was really excited that I was able to ask that, and he answered all those questions.
Yeah.
Because I even say at the beginning of that, like, if we need to edit this out, like, let me know, because I know obviously it's a very hot button topic. And just the fact that throughout the whole interview, I felt like Dumbo was being super transparent and just really like honest about things. And when there's something he didn't know, he would be like, I'm going to say no comment, but it's not because we can't talk about this. It's just because I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I loved like how open he was, but also like careful he was with wording things, which was really great. And I mean, some of my questions is you probably saw if you've seen them were these long, like 2-minute, like so much like compacted of a question. And the fact that he could like take that all in and go with it was super great, because I think it led to like us like really getting a lot covered, which is when there's so much to talk about, that can be really hard, which I really thought was good. So the transparency, super good. Just once again, I think the fact that he was so similar to what we see on Discord. So like the fact that like on Discord, he can joke around and all that stuff. What's that to a real rad dad? My favorite dad. Congratulations on the 4th coming.
Yes, congratulations, real rad dad.
So happy for you guys.
Yes. I want to say what's up to Mike G and Aaron Borland and Joker Rock and A1 Andy, Lucas, everyone that showed up. We really appreciate you guys supporting us. This is awesome.
Yeah, means a lot. This is a lot more people than I thought we'd have, to be honest. But yeah, the transparency was really refreshing. The fact that like the same person that we see in the Discord, he wasn't like stuck up. Like he told me pretty quickly when we talked, like off camera, he's like, "Oh, I've got about 30-ish minutes." And part of me was like in the back of my head, I was like, "Oh, maybe he's saying that just in case like things aren't what he thinks it is. He can kind of bail." But we went for almost 3 hours, and at the end, he was like, "Wow, I went way over what I thought I was going to." And I was just the fact that like he was so committed to like answering these questions and like us having a good conversation and stuff. And once again, him going above and beyond, because he's not on the clock. And if he says no to me, no one's going to be like, no one's coming for his throat, or no one's getting mad or anything like that. It's just hey, like he's too busy to do a video with a very small YouTuber. But so
the fact that he'll riff with you for 3 hours just shows his commitment to his job. I mean,
his general love for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did want to address this. Borland, I think, is right. And this is something that we talked about I did the interview right after the CS change, but before the whole fandom moment thing happened. So I didn't get to talk to him about that, because there are some people in the comments who are like, "Oh, why didn't you ask him about the fandom thing?" In the comments, it says, "Oh, I filmed this on this day," which was the Tuesday. The whole fandom thing happened on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So one, I think when he said, when Dumbo said the whole excitement thing, it was a little more understandable, because I was like, "Oh, it's just one thing," you know.
Sure.
As opposed to the fandom thing, where I was like, okay, well now we've got a little more than just one little thing that slipped up, which I think a lot of people, including myself in the Discord, were like, well, this collector score thing is kind of a big deal. I don't know how you could get excited and just completely forget about it.
It's kind of what I thought that happened, was they lumped it in with the summer series as part of just an extension of the summer series, because what else is in the summer series? It's a couple summer league moments and then possibly run it back. But that's not a whole lot of content for the summer series, especially the first one. So I think that's why they went that route. And then they just...
You've got some Greg's Wi-Fi going on, Jason.
Oh, no.
But yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. And I wonder... So it is such a big oversight to have, and it is. I think the reason I kind of give him a pass, and kind of going back to what Borland said, where I totally agree with what he's saying, where it's like, look, they're this professional company, they're putting out a product, they're asking us to put our money in, like all these things, and then to say like, oh, this was just a slip up, when it's a pretty integral part of the economy and like the ecosystem that they've built.
Yeah.
But onboarding this brand new product for the first time, dealing with all the behind the scenes that obviously had to go on with like the players union, the WNBA, getting all that coordinated. I think there's just a lot in the air, and this is the first time where they were on the clock. So, I mean, when they created Top Shot the first time, like, let's say they're like, oh, we're planning to launch on Tuesday, and then they don't get to. Well, Top Shot didn't exist to the public, so if they have to push it one more day, no one notices. But I'm sure with this contract and with everything else going on, they had a date and they were doing everything they could to meet it. And just the inexperience kind of adds up there. And it's not necessarily an excuse. And kind of once again, to what Aaron's saying, where he's saying not the fault of Dumbo, obviously not, but sure. These little mistakes do add up. And we saw that with the fandom thing too, where it's like, okay, you guys are kind of, maybe we just don't understand. I think Mike said it earlier where he was like, maybe we just thought fandom was supposed to be something else and Top Shot had a different idea from the beginning. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird how they've done the whole thing. I wish, what Joker Rock's saying, I agree. I wish they would have just had a series 1, like WNBA moments. Cause
that's exactly what I said in the Discord. I tagged Dumbo and I said, wouldn't it be better to just have exactly the WS1 on there, because it's going to be hard to track. Like, S1 is summer 21, and then summer 22 is S2, and just it'd be so much cleaner and more efficient for the collector score to have women's S1 is worth this amount of points. Women's S2 is worth this amount of points, instead of trying to say, okay, women's S1, women's is in summer series, but it's worth a different collector score now. And same with summer 22. It's probably going to be the same thing, where women's is going to be it's going to be in fandom, but it's going to be a different like, just cut and dry, make it its own series. And it's going to add value if you say it's the women's series 1 instead of summer 22 series. I mean, it just makes so much sense just to do it that way. And
and then you get to line the NBA up with the WNBA and say, hey, series 1 in NBA, series 1 WNBA. Look, they both have the same CS. They both have that same intrinsic value because they're all these Top Shot debuts, like all that of the stars too, just like series 1. The Top Shot debuts for all the stars are in series 1. Same thing with the women's. It just made a lot of like small mistakes that really added up. And then focusing on the fandom thing, which really like made me a little upset, like the whole like increasing of the, so they first of all, the fact that they made them fandom moments in the first place, I don't get why they couldn't just be commons also. Didn't make sense to me, but I'm not the one making the product, and my understanding of fandom was probably maybe is not what Top Shot actually wants. But it is weird to say, hey, this fandom tier, it's between common and rare, but in this case, it's going to be more common than common, like from the jump. Like fandom lasted this is the second iteration of it where we've had some fandom moments come out, and suddenly you're already breaking these rules that it seemed that you established, because you didn't say, oh, fandom's in our tier. They said fandom is between common and rare. So why are we getting fandom moments that aren't intrinsically between common and rare?
So would you be a fan? Like, I know you don't like changing midstream, but would you be a fan of let's just blow this thing up, rewrite everything, and make it right? Like, I know everyone's saying all these little landmines. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not a finished product yet either. And they need the feedback from the community on which way to go and what makes sense and everything. If we have 1,000 voices, all trying to give constructive criticism, it's much better than that small little room of 10 to 12 people, especially if we're trying to get this thing out to the masses of millions and millions of people. So I think,
well, I think there's a lot of lessons learned, and I think it sounds like Dapper is going to continue to expand and make other sports NFT moments. And I'm just hoping, like in this case, I kind of give him a pass. Like, look, we're nitpicking. Yeah, they've made some mistakes, but overall, I'd say the launch was a success. And I just like, there's a lot of things where I feel like they shot themselves in the foot, and it kind of just irritates me more because I'm like, damn, this could have been so much better. Like, if, for example, if you would have given people more time before the pack drop, they might be able to get understand Top Shot a little more and be like, they didn't have to log in the very next day, check for their Asia Wilson moment, and then use that to get the priority queue. They'd have a week to come back and say, oh, like, hey, where's my pack? Well, it takes a second to figure that out, stuff like that. So it does frustrate me a little because I just saw the potential that they had. And I mean, you had me who's like, I mean, if you had asked me before this, like, one, do you know any WNBA players? I'd say I know the Kobe girl. I didn't even know her name was off the top of the head. And I've been like, and they're like, do you have any interest in watching? I'm like, no, never. Like, the WNBA is boring to me, just like college basketball. Like, I like watching like the top tier, but the WNBA release legitimately has gotten me like interested and a little excited, where I'm just like, you know what? Like, why not check out at least the playoffs? Like, I don't watch baseball every day, but I always try to watch the playoffs. Like, at the very least, I feel like I could enjoy the WNBA playoffs because these women are extremely talented and are professionals. So there is like a level of excitement. Like, maybe we're not seeing these insane dunks and these performance of athleticism that really draws me to basketball, but there is like a beauty of like the purity of the game too, where these they have to make up in like raw athleticism and strength with like talent, you know, and skill. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's just a little frustrating, but I think overall I give them a pass in the sense that I say, hey, like, first time, they didn't completely botch it. Like, the moments look great, the graphic looks great. A lot of people got excited about it. There's a lot of good things that they can take away from this. I just hope they also take away a lot of there's a lot of lessons learned from this, and they don't repeat this. Like, we're still in beta, and I hate to even say that because I was actually very upset that this didn't go as I thought it could have gone, and that there were these issues with like bots and all that stuff. But if they learn from this while we're still in beta, like, that's the whole point of that's the entire point of being in beta is like trying stuff out and learning.
Yeah, and I was one of those guys way back in February complaining about, oh, you were in beta, how long are we going to be in beta? But as we've gone along and we've been in here for months, we kind of now understand what being in beta means. Like, I was expecting in February that we would be out of beta in April or May, have a finished product, but I'm not going to say so far away from it, but we are still a distance away from coming out of beta, as we can see with all these little hiccups and things that need to be ironed out, because this is going to end up to be a finished product for mass consumption. And we only have how many dedicated daily users? I mean, we're in the tens of thousands.
Yeah.
But we're not anywhere near what the potential could be, where it's going to be tens of millions instead of tens of thousands. So we have to kind of take a step back, understand that this is a brand new space and a brand new business that's trying to get everything right. And they're not going to get everything right, and they have to fix their mistakes. They can't just go with a mistake and try not to snowball on that mistake. They just have to fix the mistake, right?
Yeah.
So we have to understand. We have to be patient.
Well, and I think
we can be upset about it because we have our money invested in this platform, right? So we have skin in the game, and we should be upset. But we also have to be forgiving.
Correct.
It's
this weird thing. I mentioned this to Dumbo when we were talking. I think it's in the final cut of the interview. But I was like, I think one thing that's kind of tricky is Top Shot looks so good. Like when you go on the website, everything's so smooth, everything's so good. And so you're like, we're out. Like this is not beta. Like beta is something that's broken that you're trying to fix. And even like February to now, Top Shot is completely different.
For sure.
So we see all this progress and we're like, get us the hell out of beta. Come on, let's turn the machine on. But we have to remember, like, I mean, beta usually takes a while for like, especially a software product. And it's better that they get it right and leave beta like on a strong foot than rush it and then fixing little things once the whole machine goes on. Because once the machine's turned on, whether that's the marketing machine or the NBA starts like featuring it a little more or whatever, that's a snowball that's going to start rolling down and gaining momentum. And the last thing you want is things like not ready for that. Because you have one shot. You have one shot to impress all these new users. And if they come and have a bad experience because something's broken, you probably lost that user for the rest of he's gone.
When you lose the momentum, it's a skyrocket up, and it can also be a skyrocket down.
Yeah, and we saw that in February.
yeah, exactly. So we need to just keep that positive momentum going. And I have faith that we're gonna get there.
Yeah, to catch up a little on the comments real quick.
Yeah, I don't have access to bring those up.
Oh.
Can you give me that?
I have no idea.
Okay, no worries. No worries. You can do it. I'll
figure
just
that
tell
out
you which
next
ones to
time.
bring up if I can.
Our first stream, but
we're piloting here.
Yeah, glad Andy glad you agree. There's one other I saw. Real Rad. I did want to comment on this. I'm maybe not right now, but I definitely, if I was like in my prime basketball shape, I'm very confident I could score a bucket on Asia. She's incredible. She would beat me in a one-on-one, but I could definitely get a bucket in. It would probably be like
15-1.
Yeah, or 15-2. But I'm pretty sure I could get a bucket in. I would have one move that works one time, and then she just wait on that move and stop it every other time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Joe Barack asked, go ahead, go.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with this. We like Aaron pointed out and other people pointed out, we are seeing all these little hiccups, and we do want to get to a point where we're not seeing them. So every time we see them, then it's kind of an indication like, hey, like we're making progress and that's exciting, but we can't get too ahead of ourselves, and we want it to work smoothly. There's one.
Well, let's just look at, I mean, if you just take a look at the buy page, they're constantly changing the features on the buy page to make things better.
Yeah, and they're like changing orders on like things for like the mobile version. There's all these little things you notice all the time. Joker Rock, I do think we leave beta before series 4. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable move, because I think series 3 we're gonna see. So series 2, we like, for example, Mike was talking about this a little on the Tandy stream, but someone asked him about sets, if we're going to see a bunch of new sets. And he's like, well, maybe we see a bunch of like Scene Stars 2, Hustle and Show 2, and whatever, stuff like that. And I think that's pretty reasonable for series 3. And if we do, once again, that just gives Top Shot more time to test and make sure everything else is smooth, because they're not having to constantly pump brand new stuff out. So I think series 2 was really them throwing everything at the wall. I think series 3 is going to be them fine tuning everything, and then hopefully leave beta right as we enter series 4. I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the latest. I have no inside information, but
unfortunately, I do not either.
From my experience, I would probably set that time at All-Star break of this season. Midway through the season, I think they should have most of the features that they want out and finely tuned.
Yes.
And that would also be a fantastic time to pump the marketing machine, would be the All-Star break with the Rising Stars and the All-Stars.
Yeah. And we saw that this year where they did the Rising Star announcement with Top Shot moments. So imagine if they reach a point where they can say, maybe we're not out of beta, but hey, let's turn that dial up just a little more. And let's see if we can announce the All-Stars with Top Shot moments, and maybe have one of the all-stars come and talk about Top Shot or something like that. It'll be interesting to see how they turn it up without turning it like fully on, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Patrick's asking, what jersey are you rocking?
We are rocking the Dallas Cowboys.
Boo.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay, so I like Zeke.
So it's my favorite NFL team. It's my favorite college team. He's a Buckeye. I live in Columbus. I live and die the Buckeyes before any other pro sports team. I'm a Buckeye through and through. So gotta represent Zeke Elliott. I got plenty of Buckeye jerseys I could have worn on stream, but since we're just 4 days away from, I know, whatever. You either love the Cowboys or you hate the Cowboys. I've gone through periods where I've hated the Cowboys more than I've loved the Cowboys, but I'm married to them.
He's not wrong.
Like a crop top. That's
like Zeke
A+,
does,
A+ pack trip. A+. That's
my pack trip is
next stream. I'll show my abs. we'll go from team traps to team abs.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. So I think we can move on from there. Do you want to talk a little bit about the WNBA? We talked a bit about my interview with Dumbo, and if we see any questions in the chat, we can obviously kind of go back to them. I would buy this too, Kevin, just because I would be in the moment, and I'm a shameless. I'm just shameless when it comes to the clout. So
even better, I'd like to see a moment of Brittany Griner dunking on Jeb.
That'd be pretty fire.
Just getting posterized.
Just
that would be
put
great.
On the poster.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where do we want to go next?
So I really am excited to talk to you about this floor, because I feel like you and I are just going to start going back and forth like we do, and like unlock like the matrix, dive into the matrix, change one of those zeros to a 1 and crack the code and completely revolutionize the meta of collector score and the floor of the marketplace, like we always do, Of
course. So I just looked. I have 1,360 moments in total.
Wow.
With a collector score of 21.5K. And
I'm at almost 400.
That's still respectable. I'm a lunatic, right? I've got, I would say probably 75% of my moments are floor moments. Like I have gone absolutely all in on these floor moments.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was getting them at $2 to begin with, a couple of weeks ago. And I've pretty much only bought on live token or moment ranks, just sniping,
so not even going through it manually and just
not even sweeping, just picking moments. Like on my day job, I can just be on my phone all day and just try to pick up cheap moments. So I've spent an inordinate amount of time on Top Shot, just trying to snipe moments here and there now. It's going to be a pain in the butt to try to sell all these things for sure. But I got them. I got in at $2 to $3. I can still grab them today at $3, but the floor is at $4.
Correct, and that's a very recent change too. Very significant.
Like yesterday, today, the floor got raised to $4, and I think that it's going to probably hit 6 or 7 within the next 2 weeks.
Now, do you think that's because of an announcement that's going to happen, or like organically it might?
Yeah, I think, well, it kind of depends on what order. I think the next 2 things to come out are run it back and trade tickets.
Correct. I think so too. Yeah.
Now, assuming trade tickets are on schedule, because, a couple months ago, Jacob said that September was the target date. They were moving it up to September. And I haven't heard anything in the contrary since then to say, no, we're delaying that. I would expect them, if they were going to delay it a significant amount of time, to make some kind of comment or announcement about that. So I'm fairly confident that they're going to come out this month.
Yeah. Usually when they get quiet, about something, it's coming. because
they love to just drop bombs on us now. Like
yeah,
they love oh my, and it's fun, but it's really frustrating at the same time. Like
yeah,
to not be able to plan for
they talked about the WNBA multiple times in like March and April, and then like they got
no.
really quiet about it, and then like boom, they're like, whoa. But like so I feel like the same thing's kind of coming where yeah, I really think trade tickets comes first, because I have a feeling that Mike is right that Run It Back would drop like right as Series 3 starts, because it just makes sense. They don't have any moments for Series 3 yet. It starts the season off with a huge bang. Everyone gets excited. Maybe they drop Rake Back with it, so that way everyone has a little stipend to kind of afford the Run It Back packs or whatever.
Sure.
But I personally, at this point, think I have a feeling trade tickets come first, because
that's what I hope happens, because
either way, it bumps the floor up. So if it's Run It Back, we're going to see CS bump. If it's trade tickets, I think we see that motherfucker like fly.
Yeah, because unlike you and I and everyone watching the stream, not everyone is paying attention to Top Shot on an hour by hour basis or day by day basis, like a lot of the guys that we chat with all the time. There is probably 50 to 75% of Top Shot's users.
Hey, Dumbo. Yeah, you know.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. That Roham interview was fire.
Thank you. I had to pull a lot of strings to get that one to work. Jeez Louise. I cannot believe I pulled it off.
I know. It sounded like he sucked a helium balloon before he did the interview, though.
Yeah, I think he's been spending too much time with Dustin. So, but
what I was getting at was there's going to be a lot of people that may be surprised by trade tickets.
Yes, there definitely will be.
Probably half the user base.
If not more. We've seen this over and over again, where we're like, oh, of course they know this is coming. And then they don't.
Right. So that's going to automatically raise the floor up as many tickets as those guys need to buy, which is going to be a massive amount if it's going to be in the 60 to 80 range that they've been saying. Yeah. 70 to 100. Yeah. Yeah.
So I know Jacob said on an interview a while ago on the Judges Twitch stream that it'll be, I'm not directly quoting him, but he said it's going to probably be over 70, under 100 type of deal. Like, you'll be somewhere in that range for a S1 pack. So yeah, especially if you have these people who, I think one thing I've learned, and I'm sure you have too, is just best to assume that Top Shot users are not the brightest bulb. They're not. Or just any users in general. Like,
maybe not even that, but they're just not they're not eating Top Shot the way that we are. Yeah, they're just not as involved as we are. Correct. And things surprise.
But when the S1, so what I think is going to happen is when the S1 like drop list drops, people are going to focus on the fact that, oh my God, I can pull a $10,000 LeBron. They're not going to say, hey, like, my odds are I could pull a $100 S1 card here. Like, I think there will be so much focus on that top tier, like that Giannis, that LeBron, that people will go nuts.
I mean, that's the same with any pack drop, right? That's why they put out the contents list to tease us as to what the top prizes are going to be.
But the difference is we know what the price on those are now.
Yeah.
When you see when you see the other one, it's all skepticism. It's like, oh, this could go for 1,000, this could go for 500. But we know exactly how much something is worth. So someone is going to look at that and be like, oh, I want a LeBron, and then look it up and be like, oh my gosh, this is $10,000 and I'm investing $300-400 to get enough trade tickets. And I think we see that floor like double, like instantly, and potentially even triple. Like, I think we see, if trade tickets happens first, I think we could see, like, similar to when Top Shot announced, like, hey, you need 3 moments to qualify for this pack, and we saw the floor go up to like 15 to 20.
Yeah.
I think we could see something like that happen. Maybe it's a flash, like maybe it doesn't last, maybe it goes up there and then it drops back down to like 8 to 10-ish. But I think things will go crazy because people will start doing this. I think they're also going to,
I mean, let's be honest, if you can get an S1 LeBron,
oh yeah,
everyone's going to be in line.
Yeah.
And let's not pretend, like I see some comments like, oh, I might sit out the trade tickets because it hits my collector score. But let's be real. If you got a shot at an S1 LeBron or Giannis or any of those superstars, Steph, like we're lining up, right?
Yeah, we're degenerate gamblers.
Absolutely. I just got ETH today to buy crypto dads. You think I'm not gonna try to get an S1 LeBron? Like, let's go. Let's do it tomorrow. Like I'm ready.
Yeah. So here's the interesting thing. This is something I've thought about a lot, and it kind of worries me because you and me both for months have been just hammering that floor. We've been scooping, trying to snipe the $1, trying to scoop the 2s and the 3s. Like you and I have talked about this many, many times, like off air, like off filming of like, hey, like where do we see this going? So something that I thought about is it really depends on when they drop trade tickets, because let's say they drop trade tickets after Series 3. Well, suddenly Series 2 isn't as like the floor. I mean, it'll still go up, but it won't like skyrocket because these Series 3 moments will probably be worth 2 collector score, and there'll be way more of them. So you can scoop up a bunch of them and then throw them away.
But let's assume that trade tickets comes out after there's a sufficient supply of S3, because there has to be a sufficient supply for them to
correct. Yeah.
$2. I mean, the first month, maybe 2 months, it's just going to be the very first couple of drops of S3. It's not like they're going to unload the entire S3 series on us the first month. So there's the supply. If trade tickets comes within the next 1 to 3 months, it's going to be mostly S2 moments that have to be burned or traded in.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting because people are doing team sets too. And the moments that you trade in will affect your collector score. But like I have 4 team sets. I'm not trading in any of my Kings or Blazers. Yeah. What other teams? Jazz,
Hornets.
Any of those guys. Hornets. I'm not trading in any of those guys. So the supply is going to be it's going to be mixed up, because a lot of one team that has like an expensive bottleneck, those guys will be traded in, which will raise the floor of those guys. So I guess we have to look into which teams are the most expensive that probably aren't being finished. I guess there's a metric that tells you exactly how many people are owners of full S2 team sets.
Correct. And you can kind of you could just look at like if you went to Own the Moment and look at the set completer, you could just sort by what's the most expensive set to most expensive team to complete. And like obviously you know that, oh, this is the one that has like the biggest, like most expensive bottleneck.
Yeah, so all those guys will get traded in for sure.
Yeah, and then to kind of address what I've like seen in the chat from Real Rad Dad and some other people, where they're talking about like the whole burning of the moments, where theoretically like these moments aren't getting burned, they're being put in recycled packs. But Rad Dad's right in the sense that if you're throwing away trash, like maybe you can get some value out of that. If you pick up a recycled pack, and this is something that we talked about in our last video that I'm still working on, that kind of got put on the back burner to finish that Dumbo one. But I had even said like, hey, maybe when you get a recycled pack, you might end up with, you could pull some pretty crazy cereals probably, because there's probably a lot of people just throwing stuff in there who don't value cereals, who don't value certain things. We're going to probably see some people throwing in rares or other like decent moments because they either think they're going to get more tickets out of it, even though I guarantee you it'll say, hey, 1 ticket no matter what. There's going to be someone that's like, Well, I mean, what if I throw a rare in though? Like I know it says 1 ticket, but has anyone thrown a rare in though? Like
Sure.
we're going to see that stuff. So it will be interesting how many people actually try to get a recycle pack and how many people don't, because theoretically that those moments, even though they aren't actually destroyed, they stay in that account. And so there's less circulation available, which makes the floor go up on them more. So if everyone's throwing their Plumleys away, suddenly Plumley might be kind of a rarish moment or more hard to get one because they're all stuck in limbo.
Yeah. But still, who wants a Plumley, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a pretty good handles move. Let's be real.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Yeah, let's give him a little props. Everyone dunks on Plumlee. But and then another thing I think I said in that talk we had was, oh gosh, what was it? Oh, that's what it was. So if you, let's say you trade in a bunch of moments, you bought it $2, right? And then you have your tickets, you're ready for the drop, and you find out you're not getting a pack. Well, what if you know a pack's coming out soon and you want to get more liquid? You can't sell those trade tickets. I'm assuming we can't sell trade tickets or buy trade tickets.
Yeah.
So if you got a rebound pack or a recycle pack, you could be liquid again. And theoretically, you put a bunch of $2 moments in and you're getting moments that are worth more because the floor has risen. So you can take these illiquid trade tickets and be like, you know what? I'm not getting an S1, but I want some more Dapper. Let me get a recycled pack. I can open this and I can sell these for a profit and increase my Dapper because the floor has risen so much. So that might be another thing where people are pulling out of that all those garbage moments because they're realizing, hey, like I need that liquidity for like this WNBA rare pack that's coming out, or the run it back, or the first S3 drop, or whatever.
But also, they're going to be distributing these packs over time. So you're going to need those trade tickets. If you don't make the first drop, you're going to still need the same amount of trade tickets for the second drop or the third drop.
And they said after S1 they're going to keep using them, so they're not going to remain useless. Like they're not going to be great
because you can turn in at some point S4 trade tickets and get and get back S2s, which will be more valuable.
That's a good point.
And will be worth all the collector score.
Yeah, so you can, in addition to upgrading like price, where you're trading in $2 moments for like $6 floor moments. Yeah, in the future you might be getting season 2, series 2 moments, and those are for series 5 $1 floor more moments or something like that, and that could be worth it. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, going through the initial process of accumulating the trade tickets in Top Shot's database account isn't going to be like 1,000,000% EV like a year from now or 2 years from now, where you can trade in S5s for S2s. Like we gotta kind of take our lumps up front just to create that big database of trade tickets.
Well, and the interesting thing is we know it's going to be on the blockchain, so there's going to be a running live count of what's in there, and people are going to be looking, and that's where things will get interesting. People will start diving for serials. People will start diving for rares and deciding if they want to risk it to try and pull something random in there. There's going to be content creators who are like, make a video that's like, oh, I put a legendary in the trade ticket pile, and they're going to make a whole video surrounding that. And then suddenly everyone's going to want to take a gamble for that. Cause they're like, hey, it's only 5 tickets. I get 3 moments back. There's no rules on the 3. It's not like a base pack where, they're all common. It's just 3 of this within this pile. So, hey, I'm not only gambling for a series 1, I'm gambling for that legendary that this influencer threw in there for his content, So it'll be, there's going to be so many implications with this thing. I'm very, very excited for trade tickets.
I'm going to be putting in like 4-digit floor moments because I'm holding on to my team sets. So I could have like a 39K serial number of Yusuf Nurkic, but I'm holding on to that one because it's part of my collector score base.
Yeah.
Where where I'm getting rid of a 4-digit other floor moam that you can trade in for, because I don't want to hold on to it because it's less of a collector score for my personal account.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. And it'll be interesting to see how people manage that, because, I mean, so trade tickets, they've said that there's no collector score attached to qualifying. It's just you have to have a certain number of tickets in order to qualify. So you have to have, let's say it's 80. You have to have 80 trade tickets to jump into the queue. Collector score doesn't matter. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how people balance that, where like you have someone like Real Rad Dad, maybe see him in the chat. You have someone like him who maybe even has like not as many moments as you do, but they're all more valuable moments. So it's like, how is he going to balance his collector score, which may be a little more delicate than yours, and also have those trade tickets?
Pull up Adam's comment there, right in the middle. Yeah. Like so that's that's a tough decision to make. It kind of depends on how much risk tolerance you have and how much liquidity you can add, how much dapper you can add. You can play the game. You can play this game many, many different ways, and trade tickets doesn't have to be for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I think both of our whole philosophy of buying the floor for however long it's been, like I think we've been doing it for months now, but the whole philosophy was we're gonna trade in some trade tickets. Obviously, like I'm trying to get one of those Series 1 packs, but also you want to be zigging while everyone's zagging. Like we want to be selling when that floor pumps. We do not want to be buying.
So it really hurt when those S1 like Zion and Ja and Luka went from 2,000 to 6,000.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on floor moams like that. I could have bought all three of those with the amount that I spent on my floor moments.
Yeah.
At 2,000 a piece.
Wow.
But my floor moments are going from $2 to $6 or $8,
which is a massive percentage increase.
I'm 4xing when the Luka has come down from 6,000 to about 5,000 to about 2.5x.
Yeah.
So if in a perfect world, I would have bought those S1s, sold at the top, and bought floor moments with it. But no regrets. I'm still hopefully going to be ahead at the end of the day, or at least on par with the other way that some of the bigger players are playing the game. So no regrets. You make your decisions, you live with them. No regrets, because whatever collection you have is going to go up. Yeah. I mean, at this point, hopefully none of us are going to be losing any more money. We're just going to be steadily increasing. There's going to be ups and downs.
No, wait, it only goes up. It never goes down.
Not true. But
that's what Mike
steadily go up.
That's what everyone at Team Hold said. They're like, hey, financial advice, moments only go up. And I was like, thank you, Team Hold. I appreciate it.
So I guess what I'm saying is enjoy your collection. Like I wasn't like, collect what you love type guy until just kind of recently, where it's like whatever you have is going to appreciate in value if that's what you're aiming for. Like,
well, I think hopefully
no regrets. Hopefully you make an optimal decision, but even something a little bit less than perfect optimal is still going to be really good for you.
Yeah, and I think what the whole collect what you don't have to separate the two. Like you don't have to have collect what you love and like, oh, let's make a good investment. Like if you love basketball, what you collect that you love should appreciate in value. Like I bought a second Giannis finals moment for $95 because I was like, this is the only moment with him with the trophy. The thumbnail's sick. It's his game 6. That's the only moment from game 6 from him where he put up just video game numbers to win the finals. Like whether this moment skyrockets or not, like I value this moment and I like this moment. And I would think that collectors would appreciate this moment too. And I mean, I was right. It skyrocketed, but I didn't sell. I don't plan on selling those for a long, long time if I ever do, because I collected what I love, but it also went up because I was like, hey, this is extremely undervalued. And there's a lot of, I made a video talking about it. I feel like I need to make a follow-up pointing out specific ones, but where I was saying, look, there's a lot of S2 that's just very underappreciated because everyone's so laser focused on that S1.
So let me ask you a question and get your opinion on this. So let's say a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, do you think the S2 15Ks are going to be significantly higher than the S2 35Ks and 40Ks when the circulation hopefully in the future is 100K or 200K per moment? Do you
think
I'm trying to think like when I look at S1 moments, I don't necessarily look at the mint count anymore. Like I'm looking at if it's a TSD, if it's a good player, if it's a good moment.
Yeah.
And I understand the price comes into play at certain points just because of supply and demand. But I'm wondering if the S2 15Ks are going to be 3 times as expensive as the S2 40Ks just because of mint count.
Yeah, so I don't think we'll ever reach like a perfect ratio where those like the 15Ks are exactly or even close to like 3 times the amount of the 40Ks because there's so many other variables. It's like you said, the moment, the player, what other moments they have. So example, if they only have a 35K and they don't have a 40K, then that 35K is a little more intrinsically a little more valuable because
and there's going to be trade tickets of them too.
Yeah,
possibly depending on the player, so the mint count will be lower.
Yeah,
I'm kind of sour on those 15Ks now. Like I know I grew up on in my Top Shot career on those 15Ks and the 7500s, but now that I'm trying to think more long term, I'm a little bearish on those 15Ks. I don't know if they'll go up.
Besides the LeBron,
at the speed the 40Ks will.
The LeBron no look 3, I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't feel like I have any interest. Yeah, I don't feel like I have any interest in the 15Ks or the 7500s.
I don't either. Yeah, I don't really either. Okay,
yeah,
I'm glad we're on the same page with that.
Yeah, I think a good example to use for that, honestly, is Giannis. So something I'm very bullish about is the championship badges. I think those for important players, not for Pat McConaughey. I can't even remember his name. Pat McConaughey. Like. I think championship badges for Giannis, Middleton, and Drew are so undervalued. Even the Giannis finals moment right now, the one it went up all the way to 400. I think it's down below 300 again. I think that moment is still undervalued, like not nearly as much as it was before. But like those playoff moments, all the championship badges, especially from the key players, Giannis, Middleton, Drew, those tell a beautiful like story.
Sure.
Never disrespect to Brook Lopez. I own quite a few Brook Lopez's and they were not listed for sale. I own 4 of his common moments and 2 of his playoff moments. So no disrespect. But I think those championship badges, I think people got there's still a little bitter taste because the badges, like they came out and things tanked. I know I have a couple badges, like my buddy Healed badge, which I paid $100 for before badges came out, went all the way down to 30. It's still at like 50. I'm still down like half. Yeah. So I'm sitting on that for forever. Thank you, Jackie Moon. I appreciate it. It's been a while since I've had to look at that $90 price tag. Yeah. But I think that those are so going back to the whole 15K, kind of putting this into context. I think the 35 and 40K Giannis moments are better than the 15 and 7,500K ones. Like, yeah, they'll always be cheaper, but I like those moments more. Yeah. And in terms of telling the story of his championship run, there's not a lot of difference because they're regular season moments. So if I'm going to sit on, once again, if whether it's collecting what you love, which I love the 35 and 40K moments of Giannis, and I love Giannis, or it's trying to make an investment, or in this case, like the idea is to always be able to do both. Percentage wise, I think the percentage increases higher over long term on those 40 and 35K. I think,
especially since half of them are going to be turned in for trade tickets.
Correct. And another example of that, I've said this many times before about the Cole Anthony buzzer beater. LaMelo 40K is going for 70 right now, or around there. You don't think that if Cole Anthony has like a great season, that $8 moment goes up to like even 16? Like that seems pretty plausible, as opposed to buying his 4K and hoping it goes up to 200, so you 2x there. It just makes more sense to me. And the circulation is high, so there is that regulation, because if it goes a little too high, people start undercutting because they're trying to get rid of it. And it'll take a while before we get past that. So short term, in terms of short term buying, lower mint moments make sense. But in terms of long term and like looking at that percentage increase, I feel like buying the 35 and 40Ks of like star players is the move, whether it's for CS or trade tickets or anything like that. Yeah. Because once again, you got to look where everyone's not looking, and everyone's looking at the 15Ks and the 7,500Ks because they're like, oh, wow, these moments are closer to S1 in like rarity. Like, why wouldn't I want to grab these?
Yeah, we're zigging when everyone else is zagging. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I think another thing is the playoff moments in general. Like you can get for CS, they're $5 a pop, and so like let's say, I don't know what they are right now. Actually, I haven't looked in a couple of days, so this will be interesting.
See, this is probably where we're going to disagree because I'm team base moment. I have no interest in the playoff moments.
The floor has bumped up a bit. The floor is $6, but so here's the base moment. You pay $4 for, and you're getting 12 collector score. Playoff moment, you're paying $6 for. It's a special set, and you get 20 collector score. So the average is, the ratio there is pretty similar.
Yeah. You're right.
So the price per collector score point is pretty on point. I think the difference is, once again, these are 12K as to 40K, but you're paying the same rate. So while people are overestimating the 15K, and I mean, there's a couple players where it makes a little more sense, obviously. And the 15Ks and 7,500Ks are players that are stars. They're not releasing a 7,500 Bobby Portis, although they should. They
do have a 7,500 Jared Allen and Karis LeVert though, just because they got traded midseason. But
people like them. They're like,
I love Karis LeVert. I probably have more Karis LeVert than anything in my account.
Yeah, so I mean, this is kind of how I feel with, like, a lot of people are like, oh, these are in a weird space.
But they will be more valuable than the base moments when the floor rises on the base moments, because as the floor rises, your value as price per point goes down.
Correct.
So the more you pay for the base moments, the less valuable they'll be. So at some point, the floor will have to stop. Or just level out, because it won't be price effective to buy those base moments anymore. So
Pack Drip is
saying, is it 5,000 carats in Jared?
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are right. It's 5K. The 7,500 are the stars that they decided to make another moment of. You're right. You guys are right. Yeah.
And I agree with Stubbs kind of here, where it's like, yeah, there are some exceptions to the rule, but like, I've seen people in the Discord saying, "Oh, let's collect all the 15Ks. Like, I know there's even people like, oh, let's make the 15K club and stuff like that." And I was like, I don't know about that. Like, I wouldn't want them all, but like, if you do see a great moment by a star and you think it's underpriced, like, pounce on that.
Grab it.
Yeah, exactly. But once again, you and me are very, like, since we started talking, you and me just have always been of the same mindset of like, the easiest way to increase your percentage and increase your collector score and all this stuff is to focus on different floors, not to try and buy the grails and watch them, because it's exciting to pay $3K for Luka and watch him go to $6K, right?
Yeah.
But that's a 2X, as opposed to, let's say you spend $3K on floor moments at $2 and they go to $8. That's a 4X. Yes, it takes way more time to buy and sell them.
Yeah.
But also you don't like have that emotional connection because you're like, I can
get rid of
Reggie Jackson.
Exactly. I can get rid of those guys. I have no attachment to those guys. Like selling a Ja TSD has to be excruciating to put it on the market, to know that you're letting it go and you may not get it back.
Correct.
I mean, that's something that I'm not going to worry about right now. And the fact that the floor moms are going to 4 or 5X means that I'll have enough money to buy that Luka S1 if I want to, plus invest. I'll have extra to invest in the S3 that I want to be liquid for to play the S3 game, because that's what I'm most excited about, is being able to do all the quests and challenges and pack drops and everything in S3. Like everyone kind of forgets, like that's where the action is doing the quests and challenges and lining up for the hollows and rares and all that. Like that's why I'm in Top Shot, just as an action junkie, trying to get in and hit those queue numbers. Like, how excited are we when we get in the queue and time's expired and now we're just waiting for our number? Like, did I make it? Like, that's just it sounds weird, but that gives me a rush. So
yeah, no, same thing. And
I'm excited for S3 to get to do this all over again. Like, we get to do this every year for the rest of our lives if we want to. Like, how exciting is that? Like,
yeah, I mean, like we've said, we're probably going to Vegas every year for Summer League for the rest of our lives.
Yep.
It's a no-brainer to me. Like, even if Top Shot dies, like, why wouldn't I want to go to Vegas and go to Summer League and like meet up with a couple friends? Like, that was such an incredible experience.
Yeah.
Like, and I think another thing that I don't know if I've talked about this a ton, but you and I have, of just like options and flexibility are so insanely important when it comes to Top Shot, because by you buying all those moments, you have this insane collector score right now. So when the next pack drop is released, you are not bound by the same rules everyone else is, where they're like, oh, I have to hit a certain tier. You're already way past that. So you can sell, you can hold, you can strategically pick certain moments that you're going to sell. You can sell a bunch and then watch a couple. You can watch the LeBron no look 3 take a little dip, and you can buy that. And you don't have to think about collector score. You don't have to think about having to move off of moments you really want, because you have this liquidity, you have this flexibility that most people just don't have because they're pursuing those grails.
Yeah. I love the position that I'm in, and I don't have many valuable moments. I mean, I can count them on one hand, probably. Two hands. I can count valuable moments. I can count on 2 hands, but not more than that. But I just love playing the game. I just love just getting in there and buying and selling and not having a great amount of attachment. And like I said, just jumping in the queues and doing quests and all that comes along with the Top Shot game. So
no, there's so many times when a quest is announced and I'm like, well, I only have one of these players, so you know what? I know I could sell this for a profit, but I'm gonna complete this quest. Like it's like, and I'm like, oh, I'm taking a roll. Like, I know I won't win whatever this prize is. I'm trying to think of one, but or like I know I'll lose money. For example, with the Summer League, I could have sold my Hampton for like $200, and obviously we knew he was going to drop to probably below 100, and he has. Yeah. But I wanted that full set, and like that's what's fun for me. And as long as I'm not like losing an insane amount of money, like I made a ton of money off that challenge because I had the 10 I had the 10, whatever his name is. Shoot. I'm Killian Hayes. So, and then I traded one. And so it was all plus, like it was all profit for me. I didn't have to worry about that. And I'm always going to choose the challenge over the challenge over the small profit, because I mean, we've even seen with some of the stars when they did that star challenge and they pumped after the challenge ended, those didn't go back down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's been a new development.
Yeah. Well, like, I think people are like, why would I sell LeBron? Like, why wouldn't I just keep him?
Right.
And so I think that's been interesting too, where it's just kind of showing you like, hey, when you do buy those valuable moments, like you hold those and then just once again have all these garbage moments for flexibility, for liquidity, stuff like that.
Let's grab some questions real quick. I see two right at the bottom there.
Yeah. So when you think completed challenges or quests play a factor on queue priority? Oh, that's interesting. So, I mean, theoretically, they could very easily design like an algorithm that kind of factor, because you can really use whatever you want to factor in. But I think Top Shot's been pretty transparent about how this stuff works, and they really want to they want to step as far away from controversy as possible. So I would highly doubt that challenges complete or quest complete play a factor with queue priority, at least for now. But indirectly, it might, because it might increase your baller status. And we know at some point baller status is going to come back and play into something. We don't know what, but they didn't delete it. They didn't remove it. It's going to have some sort of purpose.
Sure. So, yeah, I agree that I don't think anytime soon that challenges or quests is going to get you any queue access.
Well, I think he's saying, oh, no, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, we could ask. If that's on the roadmap.
Yeah, I wouldn't think.
I don't know.
I think it'll affect more like airdrops and stuff like that in the future.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So it has utility. And then what would your grail moments be?
You want to go first, or you want me to go?
I'm trying to think. Honestly, that Giannis championship one was a grail for me, and being able to get that 2400 serial was like huge for me. I'm not that big of a serial guy, but like diehard Kobe fan, and the fact that Kobe, like before he died, like gave Giannis that challenge to win a championship, and then he did, and I got 2400, which has 24 in it. That was super, super cool to me. So that's like definitely a grail that I have. I'm trying to think. I think the LaMelo, I think it's the legendary where he does like the 360 3. I think that one's such an incredible moment.
Yeah. I'm going. I'll throw out the LeBron Kobe tribute dunk.
Yeah.
That's one that I hope stays. I don't know if it will, but I hope it stays reasonably priced within the next year, and I can go grab that one. I know it came down during the dip, and I should have got it then, but that would have changed my whole strategy on a whole bunch of things.
Yeah,
I hope that's liquidity. Yeah, I hope that's still attainable. I don't know if it will, but I mean I think that's the number one for me.
That Drew Holiday steal to the Giannis alley-oop, I think, is also a grail that I'll probably never get, but that moment is like so insane, so beautiful. Just like there's someone on Twitter who put "Father Stretch My Hands" over it, and it was just like, oh my God. I watched it 5 times in a row and I got goosebumps every time. Like, it's gorgeous. Great. And just like the stare down that Giannis has afterwards, it's such just a magical moment for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. I would definitely say my grill moment. I mean, obviously if I could get a Ja Top Shot debut or a Luka Top Shot debut, I'm not going to be like, no, like let me give it something else. Like that's obviously like grail for me, but it honestly, like, I've said this before. I think I said this the first time on the morning marketplace with Mike, where I said everyone's eyes are on Series 1, and there is a lot more value that's baked in on those than people think. So the Series 1 Top Shot debut Luka, for example. Yes, it's obviously a grail moment, going to be worth even more in the future. But I think right now, I think it's at 5K right now. For it to go to 5 to 10K, I think it's going to take a lot longer than people think, because so many people understand the value of it already. This is not some hidden gem. Like, everyone knows Luka TSD is like one of the grails.
Yeah.
So if you buy it, like, you're not seeing that massive increase for a long time. And I kind of have been trying to shy away from moments where I'm like, yeah, a lot of it's baked in already. And I think even on Tandy's stream, Mike pointed out, who was it? So someone's TSD. I think Marco Fultz or something like that. There's a couple of TSDs that like were pretty low. And it's like, yeah, if you think the player's great, like, it seems like no one's looking at this guy. Like, take a swing.
I'm going to throw in the Anthony Edwards dunk.
Yes.
I think that's
one.
going to hold value forever and ever and ever. I mean, that's one of the nastiest dunks in NBA history.
Yeah, 100%. I hope I do. It will be interesting to see like how his career over the years affects it.
Yeah, he'll have to have a good career to maintain the Grail status for sure.
Yeah. I would also say that Diallo throwdown is particularly incredible. Now, if you buy that, like, all those throwdown rewards were just garbage.
I know.
Like, just because you won the dunk competition does not mean like you are valuable.
I'm so upset with that. Like, I want the throwdowns to be a thing. Like, I want them to be the best thing on Top Shot, and it just didn't work this season. Like, there were so many things that failed on that. That's really the most disappointing aspect of Series 2, and for me personally, because I really want that set to succeed. I think that's such a great concept, and it just did not get executed correctly this time.
I scooped a Westbrook throwdown right at the floor, and it's like I'm up pretty high on it. But I mean, I plan on holding it even just for like DFS with like moment ranks and whatever Top Shot probably introduces, because it's a rare Westbrook. And you don't think this man is going to put up a quadruple double every single game now? Where like he put up triple doubles, he averaged triple doubles with people like who like are bench players with anyone else as their point guard.
Do you think Anthony Davis and LeBron are going to let him get all the rebounds?
I think they're going to say, okay, you've hit 10. You're good. We're going to get the rest of them now. But we know you love those triples. And he's a good rebounder. He's good at reading the ball off the rim. And we saw, I'm trying to think, LeBron's older. He's conserving his energy. He's not going after rebounds like he used to. I think Davis is the only one you'd have to, and maybe Dwight. But once again, Dwight's coming off the bench too. Like seeing Westbrook pull 10 rebounds is not impossible. It'll be interesting to see. Like, I mean, in terms of assists and points, like he's going to be averaging 15 assists a game.
For sure.
15 assists a game, easy.
For sure.
He has LeBron and Anthony Davis and Carmelo Anthony to pass to.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, just like 30 assists a game. That's not like he'll have a 30 assist a game this season. I wouldn't surprise me.
You know, my biggest regret from this stream was talking about the Lakers.
Well, see, this is where we can agree there. I hate
that we went to the Lakers of all teams. I hate you, Dustin.
Well, that's
what can we talk about next? Let's talk about something
else.
Let's get this thing going.
In Vegas, me and Christian were going at Dustin because he's a LeBron fan, and we're like, no, we love the Lakers, but we hate LeBron. And I don't hate LeBron, but not a big LeBron fan.
And as a Cavs fan, I absolutely love him. Like, he brought us a championship.
Yeah, he did.
He's the Messiah in Cleveland. Like,
yeah.
But God, we talked about the Lakers. I can't stand it on our pilot.
I'm sorry. It won't happen again. That's why
I can't cut it out because it's live, right?
I didn't wear a Lakers jersey specifically for that. But yeah, let's see. What else is there to talk about? Let me look at the chat. If you think of anything else. I know we had one or two more things on our list we kind of wanted to cover. Someone said that Top Shot needs to hire Time Lord, love Time Lord's content.
I haven't seen that yet.
I think in general, yeah, regardless if they hire him or however they decide to do it, I think they need to continue to improve like their moments. We saw a big jump from Series 1 to Series 2. I hope we see another big jump from Series 2 to Series 3. And I hope that increases, and I think it will increase until we get out of beta. Like that's the whole point.
Wait until they add AR and VR, because I believe they're compatible already for AR and VR, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's just gonna be insane.
I need to be able to step into a moment and get dunked on by Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. Yes.
Like how
Brittany Griner.
Yeah. just like experience what it's like to be on the poster. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, make your own poster of an NBA player dunking on you, like in a real game. Wow.
Yeah. Oh wait, this is a good question that we haven't talked about. What do you think the WNBA set value will be long term? We talked about the WNBA, but we didn't talk about the set.
Yeah.
So, do you have a thought, or do you want me?
I mean, just based on collector's score, it's going to be valuable. Mm-hmm. If you get them now, I think there's still a value as far as collector's score. I bought quite a few of the Ionescu, Taurasi, Sue Bird,
Griner.
Who else is it?
Candace Parker.
Griner, Parker, yeah. All the legends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to hold on to those for a long time. Like I've got like 8 Taurasis and 7 Ionescus and 6 Sue Birds. Like I really believe in those like Mount Rushmore type WNBA players. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? Put Jeb in a bear suit, getting dunked on by Brittany Griner.
That's what the world wants. That's what the world needs.
Chef's kiss.
That's how we would end COVID right there.
Yeah.
Fix everything.
But I think the set. I don't know enough about the players in the set or the future players that are going to be coming out in the S1 set. I just don't have enough info on all those new players. Like I was into WNBA for a year or two back when I was playing DraftKings when it first came out, because that got me interested, and I really love the game. I just didn't have the bandwidth to do that because I moved on to other sports that I also don't really care about, like NASCAR and tennis and those kind of things that I was watching just because of DraftKings. That's a different story. But the WNBA set, I don't know how much value those floor players will hold. I mean, think of the S1 NBA players like Buddy Hield and
it's still $50 for Buddy. Like that's not chump change. Yeah. I think they take a bath. I think we see them take a bath at some point.
When Run It Back comes out. Do you think
this when people?
I mean, that's the earthquake that's going to be happening next. Is Run It Back, right?
Yeah, basically, when people are like, "I need to get liquid." Look, like I like these WNBA moments, but I joined Top Shot for the NBA first. Like I would rather get 40 Dapper for an Ionesca than get 40 Dapper for my favorite players. TSD or like this playoff moment or something like that. Like there will be a lot of people who are forced to choose, and when they choose, I think more will lean towards the WNBA. I think we'll see these moments between it not being the shiny new object, people needing Dapper for Run It Back, which we know in the video that I did release with us, where we both think Run It Back is going to be a like earth changer. Like it's going to completely change everything. People are going to need Dapper for Run It Back, both packs and maybe if they want to pick up a couple of the moments because they see that long-term value over a WNBA player. And just once S3 comes out and people want to get liquid and like ape into that, like WNBA becomes a little more boring. I
think the top players will hold value.
I think so, but I think everything takes a decent dip. Like, so right now, I think the whole set's going for almost 600, and that's including the Asia, which is over 100. I think it could dip all the way to like between 300 and 400 pretty easily. I think we see that Asia take a massive dip. It's only half out right now. I think it probably drops to like 40, 50 at some point, unless someone's really dedicated to stacking them and keeping it up. But I don't know if I see that.
Unless the wolf pack comes in and sweeps the floor a couple times.
Exactly. Yeah. Unless the wolf pack is like, let's make another terrible financial decision.
Hey, Drunk Tree, I've got about 30 lineups on the Darlington race that I've recorded and I haven't watched yet, so please don't spoil that for me. But I think that's wrapping up right about now. So
nice.
I'll be sweating that after the live stream. I'll be watching the Darlington race.
So I think as the Asia packs come out, that'll drop. I think we see a lot of these other moments drop because they're just not the shiny new thing. People want Dapper. People want collector's score some other way. Maybe they're like, hey, I can sell this. Let's say they announce an S3 pack and someone realizes I can sell this Ionesca for $40 and buy a bunch of floor S2s and increase my CS that way without having to deposit into Dapper again. Like, I think there's just so many reasons why we see it take a bath. But I think long term, value, the set holds so much value.
Yes, because
so much value.
Because the NBA fan base can only get so much bigger. Like, it's already infiltrated other countries. Like, I mean, look, we have people from Australia and Europe and, every continent on the world is involved in the NBA.
I would argue the NBA is synonymous with like pop culture more than any other sport at this point.
Sure. I mean, it's probably second to soccer worldwide.
Yeah. But I would even say more when it comes to like music and all these other places that it influences.
But it's a worldwide product where everyone who is going to be an NBA fan is an NBA fan. I don't think we're reaching out and expanding our base 20 to 30%.
Correct.
A couple
unless we discover like a new country that no one
right. But the WNBA has a large place to grow. It's still very concentrated just to the US market. I don't see people. Cricket's big too, you're right. I mean, India's big, but I think the NBA is still bigger.
Probably.
But the WNBA has a long road to go down as far as attracting more eyes on it, right? Correct. And I think like there was a marketing campaign like She Got Game or something. It was when I was in college, maybe. So I mean, I'm talking 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah, when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, right?
I'm such a boomer, man. I spent all day being a boomer. Raptor News, thank you so much once again. You saved my life. I'm old. I don't look old, but I'm.
No, I would say you're
a techno dinosaur. It's embarrassing.
No, I think you're pretty good. If you're on Top Shot and like you're able to talk about all this stuff, I feel like you're doing pretty good. I like to tease you, but like I know people.
I tease myself. I mean, I'm a techno dinosaur. That's so bad. But what I was getting at was I think the WNBA has a lot more users that we can reach, especially in the computer age with NFTs. If NFTs become mainstream and crypto becomes mainstream across the world, and Flow ends up being like the premier place to go for NFTs, I think the WNBA will get a lot more eyes on it. I know with the marketing campaign back that I was talking about, it gained some exposure because at the very beginning, there weren't many people. I mean, they were getting a couple hundred people at their games maybe. And now they're like half filling arenas. But when people get invested in the players and the league and just getting more eyes on those games will increase the user base and it'll gain popularity. And I think the NFTs, if NFTs do what we think they will, just broadly,
especially these NFTs with the licensed official partnership with the NBA and the WNBA.
And you know that they're going to have probably more utility with the WNBA moments, like as far as like meet and greets and in arena things, because they have the ability to do those kind of things.
Yeah,
they have the seats to give away. They have, you know, the luxury boxes that haven't been filled that you can
correct
send users to. So,
and they're going to be telling I mean, we've already seen so many WNBA players like interact with Top Shot already, because I think they understand that, hey, like this might be what gives us that boost to finally get a couple more eyes and build that momentum. So like it's an income
source for them.
Yeah.
Because they're severely underpaid as compared to the NBA players. I mean, they're in their off season. They don't have an off season because they play the WNBA here in the summer, and then they go overseas and play in the European leagues just to make it, not to make ends meet, but to make a decent living, right?
Yeah, correct. And so this is something that I actually talked with a couple people, not in a public Discord, but just like DMs, where some people were like, oh, why don't you think, like, why did Steph Curry buy a Bored Ape, but he hasn't bought any Top Shot moments? And it's because people like LeBron and Curry and all these people, they know that why would you join Top Shot and promote Top Shot for free when you, like, if Curry joins Top Shot and people know that, like, that's hundreds of thousands of new users overnight. So why would you do that for free?
Sure.
While these WNBA players, like you said, like them promoting it is not going to create a big enough splash where Top Shot's going to have to cough up this bag. And it makes more sense for them to just get on board because it helps promote their sport, which hopefully can help it grow and they get paid more as they start to generate revenue, and they get a cut of all these sales, which once again, if it gets bigger, it generates revenue, and there's so much more room for them to grow. So like, why not just jump on board and push it and be a part of this from the get-go?
Yeah. And personally, I'm just a general sports fan. At night, I watch a sporting event. Depending on what season it is, I'm watching sports. And this summer, I'm not watching baseball. Sorry, Greg. I'm going to be watching the WNBA playoffs because I'm going to have some skin in the game. Yes. And so, I mean, they're getting my eyes, and there's going to be a lot of people just like me that, you know, just want to catch a game at night. And if your choice is between baseball and WNBA, and you've got Top Shot moments of WNBA, why not watch the basketball? I like basketball more than baseball anyway.
Yeah, and like I said, like, look, I'm probably, if I'm being honest here and realistic, I don't think, at least for now, they're getting me to watch WNBA regular season games. But I don't watch baseball regular season games either. But I will tune in for the playoffs. Yeah. And like that's getting the door open and letting people take a look at, hey, like, wow, maybe the WNBA is a little better than what I thought, because the WNBA has gotten significantly better from when I was a kid to now. Like there's so many more talented players. There's a bigger pool of players for them to sign and choose from. Like, they are making steps in the right direction to become bigger. And if you see all that, it's kind of a no-brainer that these Top Shot debuts long-term will hold significant value, especially someone like an Ionescu, who is so exciting and breaking all these records. And she could be the, like, become the greatest of all time if she can stay healthy and all this stuff and continue to develop. Like, having that buzzer beater moment, even though it's not a rookie moment, like, that Top Shot debut is a banger.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, as far as
it's better than they could have done, Top Shot debut.
Yeah, it's fantastic. They did a great job.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that was one of the benefits of them saying, hey, here are the top plays from the last season. LaMelo's, they're like, oh, it's your first assist. We have to do it. Like, that LaMelo 4K, like, I don't think if someone gave it to me, maybe I'd keep it. But I probably would just sell it, to be honest. Like, why would I want that? Like, I'm very big on, like, the moment being important too. And that Ionescu, the fact that is her Top Shot debut, like, oh,
yes, like, so
come on. And then Taurasi. Okay. The fact that Tarasi's is her scoring like the 9,000 point or something like that, like that is so cool.
Yeah.
Like objective
as a debut moment. Yeah. So Mike
Yeah.
G says, I went and got a beer and pizza and came back and you all still alive.
Yeah.
This is how we roll.
Yeah. We talked for 4 hours, 5 hours.
We just riff. Like when we record, it's a 4-hour conversation. We probably get 3 hours on tape and we just riff and
it gets edited down to like 2 or 1.
Yeah, really into 3 long trilogy parts. So I just kind of want to get my thoughts out on what I want this stream to be. I just want it to kind of be a hang, like laid back, kind of a strategy, but maybe not all Top Shot related. Like I'm willing to talk about everything pretty much, but politics.
I am not talking about NASCAR.
I'll talk NASCAR. If Drunk Tree wants to talk NASCAR, I'm for it. We can do a 2-minute segment out of our 3 hours on NASCAR. We're not going to go 3 hours every time, I promise, guys. But I just kind of want this to be like a laid back, like eventually we want to get people on stream. From the audience. We were kind of chatting about that off stream. But I want to bring people on. I want to pick people's brains. I want to get to know everybody. I want to have lively conversations with more than just Jeb. I want to get like a panel on here and just chop it up and have a great time. It's not going to be on Sunday nights because of football. We'll find, especially during football season, maybe after, but we'll find a time to do this if you guys like it.
Well, and also, I mean, our ultimate goal is to undermine Team Hold and take over the Discord by hostile force. You know,
no.
You can only do that by forming personal connections with everyone here and then turning them against their original people. So, like, it's just the logic.
You got the dark side in you. I've learned that so far. You got a little bit of dark side in you, and that's good. That's good. Let's take over the world. I'm down with taking over the world.
Obviously,
but I
agree. Yeah, it'd be
but
cool.
I want people to come with questions. I want people to come with topics. Because I mean, honestly, we came with a couple topics. Didn't know how long we were going to talk about it. Just wanted to kind of get a live stream under our belts, and I think hopefully you guys like it, and we'll do some more of them. But we can talk NFTs. We can talk NFTs. We can talk Top Shot. We can talk OTM football, which I'm getting into this week.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Do some strategy stuff on OTM or NFT buys and sells, or if you just want to talk about movies or life. I mean, I'm up for anything. Like I just want to hang. I found this awesome community, and I just want to be a part of it. I want to hang with you guys. We'll find the best time for everyone to get together, and we'll just chop it up. I promise it won't be just me and Jeb bouncing things off of each other. We want you guys to get on stream and
and I've been getting
just have a great time. I mean, we'll all grab a drink, we'll have a beer together, and just kick it. And that's what I want the show to be. Like, not necessarily Top Shot based. I know today was fully Top Shot so far, but I just want it to be whatever you guys want to make of it. Like, I just want to converse. I just want to have a good time. You know, find one night a week that we can just chop it up and be friends and kick it and make fun of each other and talk about life. Like, just have a little therapy, I guess. So 100%. that's kind of the direction that I want to take.
Men's Health Summit right now, you know. But so a little peek behind the curtain. One of the reasons me and Jason kind of decided to do this was, so me and him, like we said, the last time we talked was 5 hours long. So me editing down 4 or 5 hours into just even one coherent piece and then pulling clips from that, like the first time me and Jason talked for, I think 3 hours almost. And it must have taken me 30, 40 hours to edit that thing and pull those 3 clips from it. And so he just threw out like, hey, maybe we should live stream so you don't have to edit it and we can get some of these thoughts out a little quicker. Because I busted my butt to get that run it back piece out because I was like, oh my gosh, they might announce run it back. I need this to be out beforehand or else this is useless. So that was kind of the idea. And to build on that, I've been getting, because I've been putting out a lot more content and getting like a lot more looks lately, like my Roham like interview, my Dumbo interview, like Packrip has shouted me out, and my followers have like, I mean, I had less than 100 followers, I think, at the beginning of August, and now I'm at like 700 something. It's like crazy. So as a result of that, a lot of like you guys and other people have reached out to me and saying, hey, like, I know A1 Andy reached out. I know, oh gosh, someone else, a couple other people have reached out and they're like, hey, like, I would love to do an interview with you and talk Top Shot and whatever. And I'm so down, but also like I work,
you don't have time.
I work a full-time job that requires a lot of extra hours because of my position. And I do other things as well. So no, this is the OG Macabeard. You were the first person to ever shout me out. You gave me more than 20 followers. So always will be eternally grateful for that. 100%. But yeah, it'd be so cool to get, like you said, get some of these people on. Like after watching A1 Andy with Mike, I was like, dude, I want to talk to A1 Andy. Just absolutely. To hear him. And I've been saying I want to talk to Chris because I just want to hear him say heaps at least. Like a couple of times. Like I love hearing people say it. I think I don't know why, but every time I'm just like, hell yeah. But yeah, it would be so great to get all these people on who like participate in the Discord and have really interesting and good ideas. And even if we don't necessarily agree, like iron sharpens iron. Me and Jason talk all the time. And half the time, both of us would be like, okay, before I tell you this, like, just tell me if I'm stupid. Because
I've said that, I've said that a dozen times already.
Yeah, I'm kind of throwing this out here, and I'm just seeing like if I'm completely off base or if there's something there. And like having more people in and talking about stuff would be great. Like all of you guys, like we see you in the Discord constantly, so it's not like you guys are pretty plugged in. It's not like you're coming in and saying, oh, like I think Giannis is a good basketball player. Like I know everyone here has like pretty solid insight, and this would be really a much more practical way for us to be able to talk to everyone instead of have me interviewing them or you and me interviewing them and then me having to spend hours and hours and hours. And then that getting like, I'm still working on the last video we did, and that got pushed to the back burner because of the Dumbo interview and how a lot of the topics in there were super time sensitive. So I was like, well, like we talked about the WNBA CS score. I need to get that out immediately. Like, I guess I have to put this on the back burner, and that sucks because we want to get all this content out like right away. So I think it'll be super cool.
Yeah, this is the easiest way to do it. And it's just an extra way to get everyone's thoughts out. And it's more timely. I mean, we can get a whole group together to talk about one topic, for a half hour instead of reading Discord strings for days, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and like we just get everyone together and let's hash it out. Let's chop it up and get different ideas out there and different points of view and have fun doing it. Have fun doing it. I mean, I'm having so much fun just chit chatting and getting this under our belt. And I can't wait. I can't wait for the next one, and I want to get a couple people on stream next time. Hopefully, if we can figure that out. So
yeah, I mean, the fact that besides the first couple of hiccups at the beginning, this has gone a lot smoother than I thought it would go. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic.
Yeah, I hope everyone likes it.
I mean, the people watching has been decent, so I'm like, okay, people can't hate it at least. Like, at least they're like, at least they fell asleep listening to it and left it on.
Right.
I mean, I'm happy with that.
We won't run for 2 or 3 hours every time. I mean, it's.
I mean, speak for yourself, Jason.
I mean, we might. No, but you don't have to stay the whole 2 hours. I won't hold anyone to that. I mean, you guys come and go, grab a drink with us, leave when you want to. Come when you want to, say some crazy outlandish things in the chat, jump on stream. Like, let's just be a community.
And I mean, I love speculation, so there's nothing too wild for.
Yeah, I went out and bought some tinfoil at the store today, just in case I needed it.
Hell yeah!
So I'm ready. I'm ready whenever that.
Wow!
Oh, nice. 4 a.m. Holy cow! We kept you up at 4 a.m. That. Pat you on the bench too there.
Oh, well,
yeah, I went the wrong way. I'm like, oh
gosh, there we go.
Someone asked real quick, where was
Win shelf? That's right, Greg. If you are watching, I expect that shelf up by Wednesday.
That's funny.
Or else.
Strictly Sports asked a couple minutes ago, are you going for the Owners Club NFT drop? And that is a definite yes. I actually, there it is. I quit all my season-long leagues this year.
Wow.
So I'm doing DraftKings, of course, and FanDuel and the Owners Club, and I'm super excited for that. I can't wait to do all the strategy behind that and buying and selling. And as the season moves on, prices should depreciate, but maybe not. I mean,
it'll be interesting. I'm
getting 5 packs for sure. Watch it. Like I'm diving in head first. Like I'm super excited to do this Owners Club, and I'll probably be in way more than I should be. But I mean, I just ape into things.
Yeah.
When I've got passion for it. So I'll be talking Owners Club every single week. If you guys are want a little segment on that, I'm completely down for that.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for this OTM product.
Yeah.
And the NBA product that comes up this season too.
I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah. We'll be doing the moment ranks or whoever comes up with the best product for the NBA stuff too.
Yeah.
So
I'm
all about fantasy. Yeah.
I just want to address this comment real quick. First of all, shout out to Pack Drip. From the beginning, show me nothing but love. Even when I was small, like he would DM back and forth. Super great guy. Just want to start that off. But I will say, before I started making Tinfoil Tuesday videos, I didn't see anyone mentioning tinfoil, and now all of a sudden, tinfoil is a very common word in the Top Shot content sphere.
We should have bought some stock in Reynolds Wrap, right?
I mean, I need the sponsorship at this point.
I mean, we're still early on Reynolds Wrap, aren't we? Okay.
Oh yeah, we're still very early on $ Reynolds. But I just want to point out, like, not going to name any names or anything like that, and it's not like any like actual beef or anything. But I do find it interesting that like I said something and then everyone starts using it. And I mean, big shout out to Team Hold. They posted my videos, have always given me so much credit and like said, hey guys, check out Michael, like not Michael, Jeb stuff. Like if you have some time, and I'm so deeply appreciative of everything that they've done. But yeah, I do find it interesting.
They're getting big guests now.
Oh,
like they're landing huge guests. So,
dude, it's insane, and I'm so happy for them. Like,
absolutely,
Mike. Deserves
all the flowers.
He really does, and it's funny because
even though he says don't listen to Adeepthret.
Yeah, but that's just because he just wants to be the smartest person in the room, and when Adeepthret's in the room, maybe not. Yeah. But no, it was so funny actually. I was watching and editing the Dumbo the full interview, and the amount of times where I like mentioned Mike, I'm like shout out Mike or anything like that. I was like, wow, like that was like I mean all the props to Mike, like I said, but I just thought it was funny. I was like, wow, like I gave Mike quite a few shout outs in there. Like he deserves it 100%.
With all the big guests that they're landing now, I mean, yeah, there needs to be a space for us now too, right? Like, yeah, we can do a live stream here and there and keep the regular guys getting some airtime too. So as long as
don't worry. There's if you know anything about me, it's I love some beef. So I don't shy away from anything like that. I never going to like unnecessarily start it, but I'm not afraid. I'm not going to just ignore things when someone comes at me.
I saw Rockander roll in here a little bit earlier, and a Where's the Beef drop might that might be before fun. That might be before your time though. I might be dating myself again. Do you remember Where's the Beef?
No.
The commercial?
No.
Oh, it's like an Arby's commercial. With these three old ladies. Okay. Never mind.
I will dig it up.
Outdated.
I will dig it up. But yeah, just know, like, what's the name of the stream? Deep Inside.
Wow.
That's great. That's great.
We'll consider it, I suppose.
Yeah. We'll have to think of something creative.
Yeah.
The Inside Jeb, if people don't know, it's a play on Inside Job. I don't know if it's obvious or not, but I feel like even if it's not, Inside Jeb kind of makes some sense, even though it's a little weirder. But that's kind of my brand. Is
a little off. Yeah, that's true. That is your brand.
Yeah, is not being boring. You know,
exactly.
A deep Jeb. These are great, dude. If you have
let's crowdsource a good name for our
show. Hit us up in the Discord and give us a good name. I'll have to think of something. I'm sure something will come to mind, but
yeah,
it could be great. But
someone knows Where's the Beef. Thank you. Oh, my man, Dan Tech. All right.
Shout out to Raptor News.
Shout out, my guy. Where's the Beef?
But yeah, is there anything else we want to talk about? I haven't seen really any new like topics in the.
Yeah, it's been a quiet week. I mean, we were tentatively scheduled to go last week as the WNBA stuff dropped, and that would have been a lively conversation to deep in the push.
I'm actually kind of happy we didn't go live last week, just because I'm glad that we like the first discussion we've had about it is once we've kind of seen everything. Because when I was in the Discord, kind of like not complaining, but just saying like, oh, the fact that they changed the CS score doesn't really sit with me right. Like I just kept saying like I don't really want to give my full opinion on whether like this is a good thing or a bad thing until like after I've seen everything. And I mean overall I think it's because I mean I am someone who's very passionate and someone who can talk a lot. So wanted to have a little control and just wait to see. These are great.
Wow, that's a mouthful, but I like it.
I like that one actually a lot. These are great.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's the front runner right now.
That one's pretty good. Actually, a threat from Jeb.
Yeah.
Drone strike incoming.
Does anyone else have any other questions or topics that we can cover in the next 5 or 10 minutes? Throw them out there.
Yeah. Anything that anyone feels like
my earbuds haven't died yet, so I can keep going.
And I have like nothing better to do. Whoa. We can't be using our real names. Like, let's not get crazy here.
I don't want to get doxxed. You guys already know I live in Columbus.
Yeah. People know I live in Southern California.
Yeah.
So. But yeah. I don't see anything.
Is there anything else?
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we mentioned?
Yeah. I got one thing. Give me 2 minutes on it.
Okay, go for it.
So I spend a lot of time on Live Token, and last night. So last night, this Donovan Mitchell playoff moment.
Oh, real quick, you should change your Twitter handle to Adeepthret, in my opinion. In my humble opinion.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty great.
I've never changed my name since I started the account, but if that's a possibility, then yeah, I'll do it.
Well, now you're a star, so gotta.
So this Donovan Mitchell moment, right? So if you're watching Live Token, you're seeing these just regular Donovan Mitchell moments put up for like $12, $13, and the fair market value is like 30, right? So it's got these big fire emojis and whatnot, but the low ask is 10, right? So I did a little bit of research before I got in there, but the reason was. But the reason was someone came in and bought a bunch of 3-digit serial
Donovan Mitchell's.
Yeah, I think I responded to that.
Yeah.
3-digit Donovan Mitchell's for above the low ask, like in the $60 to $80 to $100 range, right? Just bought like, I don't know, 20 of them, which changed the algorithm for Live Token. And I saw all these $12, $13 moments getting scooped up because it said like $38, $40 fair market value, and they're only worth $9 or $10, right? So that an hour later, people are undercutting and actually driving the price down lower. So I guess what I want to say is do a little bit of research before just blindly plugging in there. And if you're sniping, take that 1/10 of a second to make sure you're not buying something for $2,000 when you want to buy something for $3, because that's happened a couple times where the screen has gotten messed up or a misclick. Like, sniping's fun and getting a discount is fun and rewarding, but do some diligence with that. That was my PSA. Another thing is I've noticed that on Live Token, things are getting snapped up much quicker. Like, as soon as they're posted, they're being snapped up. And I think Top Shot is allowing you to buy these moments quicker, which sounds like a good idea, but they're not even hitting the main Top Shot display page anymore. They're being bought before they hit the display page. Like, before, it would take 50 seconds to 2 minutes, and the time window would change. I'm sure there's some kind of algorithm that says it's listed for 1:10, and then you can buy it or whatever that is, like to prevent botting, I suppose. But now that window's gotten shorter to where you can, it's listed for 2 seconds before it's getting bought. And I think that is not a great idea to shorten that window that short, because it doesn't give anybody besides those hawking, Live Token or moment ranks, and with the fastest fingers. So it's limiting the amount of buyers to these in the internet. Yeah, it's limiting these deals to a handful of people. I'm talking like 10 or 20 people that are able to get these deals now. And I understand why Top Shot would want to get faster, but now they've kind of made it too fast. So if anyone from Top Shot is still with us after 2 hours, which I'm sure they aren't, but maybe
they all are. Definitely.
Maybe we can clip this. Yeah. I think we've gone too fast. And I would actually like a system where everyone puts in, I want to buy this moment that just got listed. And then it randomizes that list. So you get 2 minutes to buy something, to sign up to buy this item. It deducts it from your dapper. So it'll get paid for no matter who gets the number one spot. So it takes the 50 people or 100 or 1,000 people that want to buy this moment at a discount. Let's say someone lists a LeBron 3 for $50, and everyone knows it's a steal. Everyone gets to sign up in that first 2 minutes. You have to be paying somewhat attention, but then everyone has the same shot to get that. So it'll, and just think about the queue numbers. Like, you're trying to get the best queue numbers during pack drops. You can do that with every buy if you want to.
So this is the first time I heard about this, but instantly my mind goes to, Macabeard commented that after the long maintenance, it got quicker. So instantly in my head as a software developer, I think, they increased efficiency on the Flow blockchain. I don't think they increased the actual time. I think the time was just based upon how quickly the software could actually function and make the transaction on the blockchain. So I think, so I agree with you that the whole, like, maybe they should make it some sort of like queue. So one thing that's interesting, and they stopped doing this now, Nike, but for a long time with sneakers with Nike, they would give everyone on the app when a sneaker released, you didn't know this. Like the front user would just click their size and like click buy and stuff like that. But on the back end, it was waiting 2 to 3 minutes and letting everyone buy and then picking winners afterwards. I don't think
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a good idea. I don't think 2 minutes necessarily. I think that's a little too long because you don't want, especially new users who don't really understand what's going on. You don't want them to buy a moment and then be like, oh, my it took my dapper, and then 2 minutes later they don't get it. And obviously the dapper's back in their account, but that might confuse them, you know?
Yeah, they would have to be explicitly clear, like this is the system
correct
that we're going to.
And so I think his name's Bayes Brain, that guy who does like a bunch of UI stuff for Top Shot. I want to say that's him. He makes a lot of super cool stuff. Seems like a pretty nice guy. But he made a UI a while ago. I wish I knew where it was so I could pull it up. But where it showed like, hey, like here's a list of people trying to buy this moment. Like it showed a bunch of profile pictures, and then it showed like who got the moment. And
yes, yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
And so obviously 2 minutes is like a pretty extensive amount of time, but giving someone maybe even like a 20-30 second window where like, hey, we don't, because we want people to be able to get their moment pretty quick. But if the blockchain's faster, like use that save time to create that entry point where you're entered in like this small raffle where it's like, hey, like, here we go. They upgraded the smart contracts on Flow. So just
maybe not 2 minutes, but 1 minute, because it takes 30 seconds right now to list it, to get it on from listing to getting it available to purchase. It's about 30 seconds, I would assume 25 to 30 seconds. So adding another 30 to 45 seconds, I guess, or 30 seconds to it. So between a minute to a minute and a half.
They would have to play,
I guess would be the sweet spot.
They would have to play around with it for sure, but it would be, I do think that like when Bayes Brain posted that, I was like, one, looks super cool, but two, like I think it communicates to the user a lot better that, hey, like you're in this, because it is weird when it says like you think you've bought it and then you get your transaction didn't go through.
Right.
And they've even increased that where they've made the emails more descriptive, where it's like saying, hey, another user bought this or something like this, because of that confusion. So displaying that and showing that, and maybe not even explicitly telling you, like I said, Nike never told people, oh, you have 2 to 3 minutes to enter this raffle. As far as most users knew, except people who like really dove and like figured out the system, they were buying it. And then it was just pending, and they found out like a minute or two later. And I think the same thing should happen where you're buying it and it's pending and it's showing you that there's multiple users trying for it. So you know, oh, maybe I won't get it. But like and then you find out if you get it or not. So that way people aren't seeing it as like a raffle or a queue, which I think could get some negative feedback in the sense where people are like, why did it say I could buy this and then stick me in this queue? You know? Yeah. But in the background, it's kind of operating. You
could say like enter buying pool or something.
Or just buy, and it's showing you that it, like, you know, that pop-up that says, hey, like someone else is trying to buy this.
Yeah.
So you have that pop-up still. And then if you go through, it shows a couple of people that are trying to buy it. And it's just like whoever like finishes first, whether it's actually whoever finished first, or whether it's like a raffle system they implement, or like a queue, or like what you said, that's can all be hidden in the background. So as eventually it's very simple.
Yeah, eventually everyone's going to get about the same % of success rate.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of right now, if you have a glitch in your internet, or if you're not just locked to that live token or moment ranks page, you have a 0% chance, because there are 20 people that are faster than you and competing against each other just at a different speed.
They've got Google Fiber, like they are locked and loaded.
And those are the 20 people that actually have the chance to buy it. And you have a less than 0.1% chance of success, where I think it would be better for everyone involved. And the sweat. I mean, just think of the sweat. Like,
yeah, it makes it a little more fun.
You have the same odds at the steep discounted LeBron 3 that everyone else does, and you're just waiting to see if you are the number one.
Yeah, and I think it would like
for it. I think that's a super sweat, and it's so addicting to do that kind of stuff.
And visually, it's more engaging, where you understand what's happening, and you're not confused. And obviously, communication to the user is obviously super important. And like Mike G said, like maybe it wouldn't completely eliminate internet speed and all this other stuff, but it would definitely like negate it and like dampen that a bit where it's not such an overwhelming factor. Where
there's like 10 people who are making bank sniping moments.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And if I like when I'm on my desktop compared to when I'm on my laptop, it is night and day difference sniping. Night and day. And because this desktop is built to handle like a lot of processing power, while my laptop's already like has a lot of stuff on it for like work and all that. So like when that like so basically it's like once again it's kind of like making like the rich richer in that sense. And this is not, I don't think this is a high priority thing that Top Shot needs to immediately fix, but it would be a very cool improvement before leaving beta. Just both in like once again clearly and concisely communicating to users, hey, this is exactly what's happening. You clicked buy. Now there's a couple people trying to buy. We're not going to tell you if you're in a queue. We're not going to tell you any of that stuff. All you know is that, hey, like you might not get it, as opposed to a spinning circle and then it just says you don't get it. And a lot of people are like, what happened? I thought it said I could buy it. Why did it fail? Now you're being told, hey, someone else got it, and it shows you maybe who got it, the user. Maybe that's not a good idea because like you can go and like harass them on Twitter or something. I don't know, but like,
no, I mean, I look up who won snipes all the time.
Oh yeah, that's true because you can just look it up.
I always go and look up and see who won it, and it's always the same names.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the top 10 snipers by name, right? Right now, I could list them off 1 through 10. I mean, I would love to see it at least try and get community feedback on it to see if that's something that would be a long-term solution and be fair to everyone.
Yeah, so, and like I said,
that was just my little rant on.
No, I think that's great. I did not know that at all, but I 100% agree with like that solution, and the fact that Bayes Brain, like let me look it up to make sure I don't want to like say it wrong because he's made some really cool stuff. Yeah, Bayes Brain at Bayes Brain. Didn't want to say the wrong name. Because he's great. But the fact that he created this, and obviously it's front facing, like he didn't build like this algorithm that actually does what it's showing. It's like a video basically.
It's just a demonstration.
But like it's such an elegant, clean design that communicates to the user so well. And I just think anytime you can effectively communicate to users exactly what's happening without like pulling away the curtain and showing like the real guts of like the algorithm, like that's always such like a really cool thing. And it would just be a quality of life improvement.
I see a lot of comments that are saying, this is probably a good idea. I'd like that, so let's get that out to let's reach out to somebody and see if we can get that worked out. Like I spent a lot of time in Vegas talking to the economist, and he said a lot of more time than I probably should have. But
he is a cool guy. There's a lot of fun.
He's awesome. The Economist is great. But anyway, I remember him saying, sometimes he would ask the devs, to do something. And sometimes they would be like, yeah, we can do that in a couple hours. But then sometimes they'd be like, it's going to take us a couple months to figure this out. Like I don't have any dev background at all. So I assume that's the truth. So, I mean, I don't know how hard that would be. I don't imagine it would be that hard to develop something like that.
I wouldn't think so.
Especially since like Nike's already done it. Like I'm sure there's like some kind of template that you could.
Yeah, you're not reinventing the wheel. And then I think also on top of that, and I don't completely understand how like software development works on the blockchain. So I could be wrong here, but I would think it's just something you can stick on top of like existing architecture. Like you and I talked a bit, I think off camera, I don't know if it was on camera, but I was talking about how trade tickets, like when they put that into the system, that's going to take a lot of work because it's fundamentally changing everything about Top Shot. But this thing would probably be something you could develop and test, and you can just slap it on top. It really shouldn't affect too much other things. So it might take some time to develop, but in terms of it being this big mess, theoretically, it could be pretty clean and isolated, and they could even just, once again, I don't completely understand how coding works on like the blockchain stuff. So maybe they couldn't do this, but I would think maybe they could be like, oh, let's stick it on these 5 moments. And when a purchase is made, we'll have it test those 5 moments, and then we'll just kind of slowly roll it out.
I would love to see just some testing on something like that, just to see if the community likes that before we exit our beta. I think,
yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah, and they do queue it, like that's kind of the same concept as the queue system.
Yeah, and like I said, they could have
a number, and if you get number 1, then you win the moment. You get to buy the moment. So,
and they just have it running in the background, like you as a user don't see that, you don't know that that's what's happening, but it's just saying, hey, a couple people are trying for this. Either you got it or you don't. And now you know why you didn't get it a little more clearly without having to check your email and have it say, oh, like sometimes users like buy moments, and like sometimes like their transaction goes through before yours does, and all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that was my soapbox on Live Token from this week, just seeing it get real fast. And
yeah, I didn't know that.
I'm fast, and I got locked out of quite a few things. Like it didn't even show up on my page, and it was already sold. So that's kind of where that irk came from.
As long as they don't go auction, I'll be happy. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, I do hope they put up
for the higher end moments. It makes sense to do auctions, I would suppose. But like
if you want to put it up,
normal run of the mill. I think
but that's such a low priority thing to add, even if they ever wanted to add auction. I would hope that they put a bid system in at some point. I don't know how. That is a little difficult because there's so many different moments, and you'd have to put a bid on a specific moment, as opposed to just saying, oh, I'm going to bid. I mean, maybe you could say like, oh, I'm bidding $10 and the low ask in this is 12, and I'll take anyone who accepts this offer.
I'm sure that's a huge undertaking to get that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I really hope that comes eventually. I think it'll make the marketplace a lot healthier. It'll allow, once again, it'll kind of going off what we talked about. It'll allow people to get better deals, because suddenly it's not about speed. It's about, hey, if someone accepts your offer, you make a good offer, like you just got a good deal. Yeah. And like if they had it listed for 12 and you offer 10, and then they accept your offer, you could go and list it for 12 right away if you wanted.
But like OpenSea does that, right? Like I was digging around OpenSea, and they have a bid system on there too. I mean, and that's on the blockchain, so it's not inconceivable.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that as much as Top Shot's doing to pioneer like this whole NFT process, like there is a lot out there that they could definitely take from other places and kind of implement on their own for sure. Yeah. So it's always nice when you don't have to reinvent the wheel in order to add a feature to your process. So
yeah.
So yeah. Yep. Well, across 2 hours. It's a light conversation for us, but first one.
How many people do we still have hanging out here?
Like 30, dude. I don't know.
For real?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we've had like 30-ish to like 35 the entire time. So I mean, huge thank you to everyone. I thought we'd have like 7 people, to be honest. And I was
it says 29. How many do you think are sleeping? Probably like 22 of them.
Maybe. I don't know.
Except for whoever was here at 4 a.m. and still awake. I'm sure he's still awake.
He's a trooper for sure.
So
I mean, it sounds like in Australia. I saw someone earlier saying in Australia this is a really good time for them. So
yeah, it's like mid-afternoon, right? Or early morning.
I don't know. Yeah. But I'm
Goodwin,
hell yeah.
Goodwin, what time is it wherever
my
you are?
Guy.
You won he won a moment earlier today.
Correct, he did. It's 1 p.m. in Australia right now.
1 p.m. Okay.
Nice.
Off to lunch in 5 minutes. I'm off to bed in about 7 minutes here.
It's only 8.
Oh, it's still early for you. Yeah.
Being on the West Coast is the best thing ever. Like
I lived in Phoenix for 10 years, and man, it was the best. Like waking up and watching football at like 10 a.m.
Yeah, and then not having to stay up super late for stuff.
Right. Everything ended at 10 p.m. instead of like,
dude. Also, sports start at like 5. Like, so like they don't start while you're like working, which is so great. Yeah, I mean, there are some disadvantages. Like, I mean, when Mike started doing the morning marketplace, I think I caught a grand total of 2 live
Because it's 6 a.m., right?
It's 6 a.m. here, yeah. Unless I'm waking up for like sneakers drop at 7 a.m. So I'm usually up at 6:50 in best case scenario. But yeah, like unless I was waking up specifically for something else, and I was like, oh, let me throw this on while I'm getting ready. But I can't.
Hey, New Swami, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Adeepthret.
As long as I'm not bad, that's what I was aiming for this episode.
Adeepthret.
I promise I'll try to get better as time moves forward.
Yeah, you've definitely gotten better. But yeah,
sooner I'll be average.
Yeah,
which will be an improvement. And then
I think you're approaching that pretty quickly.
Then we'll go from there.
You're doing great. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I mean, I think even just us like meeting in person in Vegas and getting to like really chop it up like helps with us like just being able to like go off each other, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike. Wrong one. Mike. You are like, that is like a dream of mine. So like, please hook it up.
Sounds like a meetup. Yeah, that sounds like a meetup.
Dude, you have no idea like how big of a deal that would be to me. Like, oh, like Mike, like you're speaking my love language right now. I've always wanted to go to the employees like Nike store. It's like a definitely a goal of mine at some point.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. I'm not a sneaker person and I want to take that trip. So
yeah. I don't know how visiting Nike headquarters works. I don't know if you can like do tours or something, but doing all that stuff would be like a dream come true. I have friends who have like done software development for them. And so like at one point I was like, oh, I'm going to go and try and visit and like get the full like experience, but I never got to. I got to see if I have any friends still working there because it'd be really, really cool to.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. Yep. But all
right.
Yeah, I think.
Should we wrap this thing up?
I think so. I think we've had a good first stream. We covered a lot of ground.
I've had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. This is, and I don't have to add any of this. Like,
yeah, nice.
This is great. Yeah. This is great. Yeah.
So moving forward, right? I was DMing you earlier. I think I at least would like to try this like on a Tuesday.
Really quick, just Mike. Holy cow! Dude.
Oh wow!
This would be literally a dream come true. Like,
did you guys just become best friends?
I think we just maybe became best friends. So
moving forward, I imagine like nobody wants to watch us on Sunday, Monday, or Thursday because of football.
Yeah,
and then Friday and Saturday are out too. So I think Tuesday or Wednesday we'll try to get the next one going. I know Wednesday we have Mike's stream, the Team Hold stream that goes, but we could possibly go after that as a hangout. Or
I mean they usually only go an hour, don't they?
Yeah, with the giveaways it's like hour and a half, and they start at like 8:30, so they wrap up at like about 10, which I'm my time 10 my time. So
okay.
So
we can kind of play. I think
if we want to do like an after show or after hours or overtime or whatever.
Garbage time.
Whatever. Yeah, garbage time. Yeah, right. Garbage time. Yeah. we can keep chopping it up if the Team Hold community and your community want to keep doing that, or we can just do it standalone on Tuesday night.
I think we'll definitely play around with it.
Get our schedules together and see what we can do with that.
I'm just glad we kind of broke the ice and got this first one done. And even just like figuring out how this thing works, I was like, oh, like I said, I made some mistakes at first, and I was just like, oh,
you got some stuff to do. Like you gotta give me permission to click on comments and stuff. So
I gotta figure all that out. But we're definitely
work to do. But
definitely progress.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly happy with everyone that stayed and commented. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys
love
so
you
much.
Guys. Yeah, it's been a pleasure getting to chop it up.
It's been an incredible journey. Like from
and we're still so early, right? That's to say.
But I'm just saying, even like for you and me, like in Team Hold, like. I mean, I started watching Team Hold, like using my like real name account and stuff like that. Never commented, and then like switched to this burner account that's now become an actual account. And like just going from like that to like now us like doing content and like
miles
all that stuff has been it's been a wild ride. And like you said, it's
Yeah, it's just beginning. We got a long ways to go here.
Yeah.
Building community, having fun, chopping it up.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, awesome. Thanks everyone for coming and joining. I'm glad it went so smoothly. It went definitely went better than I thought it would go. And thank you so much, Jason, for always
absolutely
always being here to talk. Like I love our talks. Like I said, this one's a little shorter than usual, but I mean, once again, I feel like I'm coming away with quite a bit of like just a very different perspective and a way to look at things. And I hope that other people kind of got that as well. I know from our videos in the past, people have commented they really, really gleaned some like very good like insight into things. So I'm hoping that by us doing this live stream, and whether we're bringing on other people or if it's just you and me, like we're able to provide that a lot quicker as a result. So you guys aren't like waiting on me to edit something, and it's possible that that window passes before you can really capitalize on it. So.
And I'm really looking forward next time to talking about crypto dads and fantasy football. So
yeah,
I'm ready. I'm ready for the next one already.
Yeah. We'll. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
I'll be a brand new dad of 3 the next time we talk. So
dad of 5 because you already got 2.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
You're not expanding the family.
You're not trading them in for.
Not yet.
Other ones. Yeah.
Not yet.
They don't go for that much ETH, I've heard. So like they're not that rare.
Yeah. They have normal trades.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, my kids are very rare, trust me. So
yeah, I bet they are.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you guys around and talk to you guys in the Discord. So thank you so much for coming to our first stream, and just the beginning.
Yeah.
See you everyone.